How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're talking about strange things sent into space. From Lego sets and printed 3D laughter to weird animals and a lightsaber. Join us as we take a look at the 20 weirdest things sent into space. On August 5, 2011, NASA launched a space probe to orbit the planet Jupiter. It was to orbit the planet for 1 year. On the probe, NASA included some special Lego figurines. As part of the partnership between NASA and the Lego company, these figures were used to help inspire children explore STEM, the integrated learning of science, technology, engineering and mathematics. The first figure is of Galileo with a telescope. This was to honour the important discoveries about Jupiter by Galileo Galilei when he pointed a telescope to the sky all those years ago. They also included a figure of the god Jupiter, whom the planet was named, and his wife Juno. Jupiter, in Roman mythology, was the equivalent of the Greek god Zeus, who drew a veil of clouds around himself to hide his mischief. This figure is holding a lightning bolt. His wife Juno, who was holding a magnifying glass, could peer through the veil to see Jupiter's true nature. Before the special Lego figures were sent on the probe to Jupiter, the very first Lego sets were sent on the Space Shuttle Endeavour's final launch for the International Space Station. On May 16, 2011, NASA launched the first Lego sets in space to the astronaut Katie Coleman, who was living on the ISS. The Lego sets were sent as part of a program that connects teachers and students on Earth with the astronauts on the ISS. Experiments are conducted by the astronauts that are sent via video to classrooms, where children and teachers can participate in the lessons. The Lego sets help to show children the effects of microgravity on simple machines by building these models. The children were able to build the same sets with the astronauts during the experiment to give them a full understanding of the experimentation process. In 1977, NASA launched the Voyager 1 and 2 probes into space. The mission of these probes was to better understand the outer solar system. These probes were loaded with various items and paraphernalia in case they were ever found by other life forms. These items included a golden record that contained various images and sounds from Earth, including the sound of someone laughing. In December of 2016, there was a contest for various people to submit their best laugh via an app. These laughs were then listened to and voted on. The laugh that was chosen was transmitted to the ISS, where it was then printed on a 3D printer in space, making the laugh the first piece of art created in space. On February 3, 2010, Iran's space program sent out 1 rodent, 2 turtles and several worms into outer space. In 2013, they continued their live animal testing with 2 separate space launches of 2 monkeys, both of which were reportedly retrieved unharmed. Iran had planned to send humans into space by 2018 after a final animal mission of a Persian cat planned for 2016. Unfortunately, however, their space program was put on hold in 2015. In March 2007, on the Space Shuttle Atlantis, NASA placed artifacts from Jamestown, the first English settlement in the Americas. Along with 2 sets of coins commemorating the town, they also sent a lead cargo tag that was found in a well by archaeologists researching the colony. The tag was believed to be from a crate or trunk shipped to the settlement that read Jamestown. The 99s is an international organisation of female pilots, of which Amelia Earhart served as the first president in 1929. Shannon Walker, a NASA astronaut and member of this group, was entrusted with taking the legendary aviator's watch aboard the Soyuz TMA-19 and the ISS Expedition 24 and 25 in 2010. To honour the 30th anniversary release of Star Wars, the prop lightsaber used by Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi was launched into space. This beloved prop was aboard the Discovery in October 2007. The second flight of Project Mercury launched in July 1961. Astronaut Gus Grissom was aboard this first human flight into space. He decided to bring with him 50 dimes, 3 $1 bills and 2 sets of pilot wings and small models of the capsule.
He felt that these things would instantly become more valuable once they returned from the flight. Unfortunately, after landing in the Atlantic Ocean, the capsule flooded and the items had to be left behind when he was retrieved. The capsule was recovered 30 years later and some of the dimes were found. Due to potential problems with crumbs, astronauts are often forced to deal with dehydrated food products for sustenance. However, in 1965, astronaut John Young, displeased with the food options, smuggled a corned beef sandwich onto the Gemini 3 mission. He and his co-pilot Gus Grissom shared the contraband during the 5-hour mission. In 1971, the Apollo 14 mission made another amazing landing on the moon. Near the end of the walk across the moon's surface, astronaut Alan Shepard informed Mission Control that he happened to have a golf club and a few balls. He then proceeded to play a little golf on the moon's surface, sending one ball soaring for miles. In April 1972, the youngest person to walk on the moon, Charles Duke, wanted the universe to know that he was there. Duke left a transparent foil packet with a photograph of his family on the surface of the moon. He also took a photo of the portrait as it laid on the moon's surface to prove to those back home that he had left the photo there. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina 1903, marks the date that the Wright brothers made their first successful flight. This momentous occasion not only marked the beginning of air travel, it also made way for space travel. A piece of wood and fabric from the original craft has been on many space flights, the first being the lunar module of the Apollo 11 in 1969. Coke and Pepsi have always been cola rivals. That war eventually made its way into space, with each company developing a can and product that could be used in zero gravity. When the Challenger made its orbit in 1985, 4 cans of each product were sent for the crew to test while in space. The crew hated both brands. In 2000, Pizza Hut sponsored the Russian Space Agency and placed their logo on the side of the unmanned Proton rocket that flew to the ISS. The following year, they had a 6-inch salami and cheese pizza delivered to the ISS crew. Pepperoni was not an option since previous tests by Pizza Hut showed that it turned mouldy in space. The pizza was then microwaved by cosmonaut Yuti Uzachov, who, after playing with the pie in zero gravity and then consuming it, gave it a thumbs up. Space icon Buzz Aldrin was the inspiration for Disney's character Buzz Lightyear. However, the character, being a toy, never actually went into space. That all changed in 2008. The action figure was launched into space on the Discovery and spent 450 days at the ISS. On June 12, 2008, radars that are normally used to study Earth's upper atmosphere were redirected for 6 hours to send a signal into outer space. This signal was a commercial for Doritos tortilla chips. This 30-second commercial was sent to the solar system in the Ursa Major constellation. This solar system contains what is believed to be a habitable zone, 42 light years away. Doritos is hoping there might be some stoned aliens that want to mung out on their chips. In 2005, Craigslist CEO Jim Buckmaster added a box to the posting page on the site that allowed users to opt in to have their listings sent to space. Over 100,000 ads were sent out by a group called Deep Space Communications Network. This option allowed any aliens who enjoy kittens to respond to the ad, "Free kittens to a good home." Elon Musk, the founder of SpaceX, tweeted out, "Apparently there's a car in orbit around the Earth." In early 2018, the engineer launched a Tesla Roadster into space and set it into orbit around the Earth. The vehicle is being driven by an empty spacesuit. It was launched on the Falcon Heavy, the most powerful rocket in operation. Gene Roddenberry was the creative force behind the television series Star Trek. This science fiction series inspired many children of that era to reach for the stars. Some became astronauts, actors, or went on to create many of the futuristic instruments used in the series. On October 24, 1991, Gene Roddenberry passed away. To celebrate the man and memorialise him the best way possible, part of his ashes were launched into space on the Columbia in 1992.
Well, how about that? That's the end of another amazing episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you can't get enough of our thick, juicy ham steak content, there's a link right there for more of our videos. If you've been around a little while, please hit that upward facing thumb. If you're new, hit subscribe. And that's it for me. I'll see you all next time. Peace.